I'm speaking to you from the future. Wait, actually, I'm speaking to you from the past. Welcome back to the Skilled Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. It's the VS4-10 Fordyce budget build. This is episode 3. And in previous weeks, we've done all kinds of cool stuff to this truck. From clearing out the hood to show off that beautiful 3D printed motor that we added in week 1 to these awesome method roost wheels. We've also got a whole new power plant and a bunch of other awesome things happening. And this week is all about being thrifty. Sort of. Between Josh and I, our usual budget builds are $50 each week, upgrading the truck in any style that we like. This one's a little bit different. It's $60 due to inflation, which is a serious matter for everyone. And we're adding the Wheel of Fordyce, or Fordyce. The Wheel of Fortune adds a new dimension, and there are many different ways in which we can either be rewarded or punished for our spins. And this wasn't exactly a punishment, but it's not exactly a reward this week either. I'm ready to spin the wheel. Here we go. No whammies. Oh, $25 week. That's fine.
That's fine. It's fine.
That's fine.
Oh, how many minutes?
I can go to the
is
hobby
Matt's video
shop
gonna
tomorrow.
be now? He's gonna
3.
have a 7-minute video.
What's the minimum to get a mid-roll? It'll be 8 minutes long. $25 to spend is not very much on a budget build in a week, especially when I'm on vacation. I'm not even here right now when you're watching this, but I did manage to shoot a little bit of footage before I left, and I was able to find something that actually brings a ton of value, provided you've got the right tools. And while Josh isn't allowed to 3D print this week, I certainly am, and I'm taking advantage of that. There is a VS4-10 Phoenix print kit available on My Mini Factory from James Knight of Knight Customs. And while it is intended to be used on the Phoenix, because that body is obviously quite different from the Fordyce, there are enough elements in there with a little bit of experimentation that could and can work on the Fordyce. And here's just a few examples of what I printed. You can see we've got a nice rear roll cage now on the back of the bed. I think this piece looks amazing. I printed it out on my Bamboo Labs X1 Carbon, which is a fantastic printer. This took about 1 hour and 40 minutes, which is just absolutely mind-blowingly fast. And for the great quality that we got out of that, I think it looks fantastic. With a few minor trims to the existing bed sides and a couple of additional M2 screws, you've got a nice looking semi-functional roll bar. I think it'll hold up to some abuse, but not much. If you up the infill, you'll certainly get a much better print, but I was going for speed and efficiency because I've got a flight to catch. Then the other thing I printed just to get started was the intercooler, and I left it red because I was like, I'm not going to put mesh back there like Josh did. I'm going to do something different. So I added a little red detail there to give a little hit of color. I think it looks awesome under there. Really, really, really impressed with that. And just absolutely, I think, completes the look now that we see the motor, we see the intercooler, all the clear bits. Now, these parts that I've already printed and gotten accomplished definitely fit, and they work as intended on the Fordyce. Now, there are a bunch of other ones in there, from front exo cages to light bars to an entire adventure rack for the rear of the body. There's a whole bunch of other things. I think the adventure rack would fit just fine. James also includes a ton of print files for Pelican cases and all sorts of little accessories that you can add to this truck to really kind of give it a whole new look. And that's where there's a ton of value. You download those, you load them up on your printer or your friend's printer, and then you've got a whole slew of things you can play with and try out and just really make this truck even more unique than it already is. I think it's excellent value, and while not everyone has a 3D printer, and I agree that that is a specialty piece of equipment, the prices keep coming down. And in fact, Bamboo Labs just released a new printer. that is, while it is a very low-cost printer, will give you a ton of really great features and a decent-sized build plate. So that's something to look at. I'll be sure to put links down below to Bamboo so you can check out all of that stuff, including a link to James's My Mini Factory site, where he doesn't just have stuff for the Vanquish VS4-10 Phoenix, he's also got a slew of other print files available for a ton of other trucks, everything from Axial to Element and everything in between. So certainly a great place to look. And in fact, if you don't want to pay for files, you can always go to places like Printables or Thingiverse, and there are a ton of free files there just for downloading. This whole 3D printing world has changed everything, and Josh can't do any of that this week. Pretty amazing stuff. So yeah, there you go. These are super easy to install. It's a matter of a few screws and a little bit of trimming, and then you've got a nice functional-ish roll cage that I think looks really awesome and adds a new kind of look to this truck. It actually looks quite good. I think it actually looks really good. And even though it wasn't intended for the Fordyce, I think it just kind of works. It's really, really good. The intercooler, of course, very simple as well. 2 screws for that. And while these are the only 2 things I got printed before I had to leave, I'm going to go through the rest of the files, and then once I'm back, maybe we'll even get a few more things put on there before the next episode. So excellent value there, lots of time to play with that, and it's the gift that keeps on giving, if you will. So there you go. I think that's it. This is a pretty quick video. I don't really know what else to say or do. Maybe we can just stare at each other for another couple minutes. So what are you thinking about? That whole entire kit is only $19.99 in US dollars. What a tremendous deal. That is spectacular. I can't honestly even believe it. So really good value there. Highly recommended if you've got a printer or you have a friend who has a printer. Really, it's a no-brainer. Honestly, for this truck. Caveat being, of course, I haven't tested all the parts to see if they'll fit. I know because of the cab, it is definitely a lot different. Not everything's going to work. That adventure cage, though, that's going to look pretty sick on the back of this. So that'll be the next thing we do for sure. Okay, time for the tally for this week. I spent $19.99 on the Phoenix VS4-10 printing kit from My Mini Factory from James Knight from Knight Customs. And that's it. So I had, what, $2 and change left over from last week, plus the 25. So we're left with we got like $8 left going into week 4. Amazing. Love it. Fantastic. Basic math. All right, that's going to do it. I'm not sure what's next for this one, because we're going to be skipping a week probably, because of vacations and people being away and whatnot. So yeah, we're just gonna have to kind of see how it goes from there. All right, that's gonna do it. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.